Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to everyone. How's it going? I'm Azlina, your instructor for this series. Welcome to the massive open online course MOOC for Bsr255 Building Surveying Practice 2. In these modules, we're going to learn on the topic of surveying tools and equipment used in condition building assessment works. Are you interested to know more? Then stay with me. Could you imagine building condition assessment works without the proper inspection equipment? No laser distance, no moisture meter, no camera and so on? Don't imagine it. In order to do our job as a building surveyors more efficiently, we need these tools. Before we go further, let's take a look at the topic learning outcomes. As you can see, there are two learning outcomes that you should accomplish at the end of this class. First, you should be able to identify the tools and equipment used by a building surveyor. Second, you should also be familiarized on classification of inspection tools in building condition assessment. Here are the 6 content outline I like to highlight. As an introduction, we will begin with an overview of this topic. Second, we will examine the purpose of the tools and equipment used. Third, we will move on the main content of this topic, which is about the tool and equipment themselves. Fourth, the resources available, self-assessment quiz and feedback, and finally, a recap of this topic. As an overview, let's take a look on the difference between tools and equipment. Tools and equipments are terms that are often used interchangeably without knowing the actual difference between tools and equipment. But in fact, they have different definitions. Tool and equipment are not only two words that are often used in day-to-day life, but also two utensils that are often used every day as well. However, how does one make a distinction between these two items? Let us find out. What is tool? Any physical item that is used to achieve a goal can be defined as a tool. Informally speaking, it can also be used to describe a specific procedure with a specific purpose as well. Tools are often also referred to as machines, apparatus, implements, instruments, or utensils. Meanwhile, equipment used denotes a set of tools that are used to achieve a specific objective. This could be a small set of functional items in a finished product. For example, equipment of a car may be alternators, absorbers, optical, electronic box, and etc. Equipment of a house may be appliances, while equipment may also include all sorts of devices needed for a specific task. In our field, to assess the condition of the building structure, for example, we need a complete set of QLASIC equipment such as steel tapping rods to examine whether they are honeycomb or hollow inside the wall, measuring tape to measure the length of the area, angle mirror to check the hidden space, and so on. Next, we move to the purpose of tools and equipment. According to Professor Dr. Ahmad Ramli, 2004, there are 4 objectives or purpose of the tools. Number 1 is to carry out the inspection to detect building defects or damage. Number 2, to monitor the building performance in the long-term duration. Number 3, for a research and development, and last for testing based on requests from third parties. The surveyor does take certain equipment to do a building inspections. To improve the efficiency, speed and accuracy of the inspections and reading. Building condition assessment involves much more than a visual inspection. A professional building surveyor will always use advanced tools and equipment in their works. Using these, help the professional spot various defects and problems that may not be evident to the naked eyes. Most of this equipment is used to improve the efficiency, speed, and accuracy of the inspections and readings. Here, we take a look at some of the equipments and tools that building surveyors use in their works. First, we will start with the basic inspection tool. Second, visual inspection tool. Third, moisture inspection tools. Fourth, non-descriptive test tool. Fifth, stress and strain inspection tool. And finally, we will close our discussion with QLASIC assessment tool. Basic inspection tools. Did you know for inspection and measurement work, some other basic tools are required? For example, to measure the length of the structure, we need a measuring tape or laser distance. Ladder to assess the higher structure, test pen, compass, and so on. Meanwhile, for the protection-related tools, in building condition assessment, there are some of the tools that are required. For example, we need safety helmet and shoes, glove, face mask, Google, and first aid kits. Other than basic inspection tools, we as a building surveyor also require a visual inspection tools. Visual inspection means the use of the sense of vision as a medium to investigate. Some equipment used in visual inspection includes equipment for recording findings such as paper, pens or pencil, binoculars, camera or telescopic pole camera, torches, magnifying glass, 4-in-1 meter or lux meter, screwdriver, bradaws or handheld probe. For visual inspection in concealed or hidden objects, there are 5 tools that you as a building surveyor should familiarize. First, concrete cover meter. Concrete cover meter is used to measure the thickness of the concrete cover, determine the location and estimate the diameter of rebar in reinforced concrete products in the condition of construction sites, buildings and structures in use. Second, corrosion map detector. This tool is used to inspect a material where oxidation or erosion has reduced its thickness. Since an ultrasonic path is directly reduced on a corroded part, a conventional UT beam can report one specific thickness at a time, while a phase array scan can produce an array of thicknesses. Third, a metal detector. As a building surveyor, we also use this tool to detect the nearby presence of metal. Metal detectors are useful for finding metal inclusions hidden within the building structure. Fourth, you should also know about ultrasonic concrete meter, or also known as ultrasonic pulse velocity. This tool is used in non-destructive tests to assess the homogeneity and integrity of concrete. With the ultrasonic test on concrete, 3 results can be assessed. Number 1, qualitative assessment of strength of concrete, its gradations in different locations of structural members and plotting the same. Number 2, any discontinuity in cross-section like crack, cover concrete delaminations and so on. And number 3, the depth of the surface crack. And the last tool used in visual inspection for concealed area are fiberscope and endoscope. These 2 tools are used to examine and inspect small, difficult to reach places such as the insides of machines, structure, and so on. Now we move to the moisture inspection tool. Did you know that moisture problems in building is one of the defects of the buildings? There are 5 tools that are usually used to diagnose on humidity levels or dampness, as shown in this slide. The moisture level in concrete or wooden structures, for instance, can be investigated using a protimeter or moisture meter. Additionally, building surveyor use moisture kits that contain all the necessary instruments in one convenient package, as known as complete dampness kit. A hygrometer is an additional tool that can be used for similar purposes. An accurate reading for the room's relative humidity and temperature can be obtained using this tool. And the last tool is infrared tomography, or IRT. This tool is used as a non-destructive testing method to detect subsurface features such as defects and anomalies based on temperature differences. Recent studies show that IRT is increasingly being used to map moisture distribution and detect areas of moisture-related deterioration in structure. Now, let's explore on non-destructive test tools. To facilitate the works of inspection and report, some basic tools for non-destructive tests are known as an NDT recommended by RICS. For example, digital caliper, crack detection microscope, yarn or nylon string, crack detection meter, spirit level, digital angle meter, plumb bob and crack monitor device. Stress and strain inspection tools. The use of these tools is to measure the strength of building components or structures, particularly those composed of concrete, metal and woods. There are two types of tools in this category. Number one is concrete rebound hammer and number two is shear vane tester. The concrete rebound hammer is a non-destructive testing apparatus whereby the rebound of the spring-driven mass is measured after its impact with concrete surface. The output of the rebound hammer is referred to as rebound number and are correlated with surface hardness of concrete. Meanwhile, the shear vane tester is a method of measuring the undrained shear strength of a cohesive soil. Now we move to the last tool in building condition assessment, which is QLASIC assessment tool. This tool is used to benchmark the quality of workmanship of construction works. QLASIC assessment tool set include 3.5 meter measuring tape, 1.2 meter spirit level, steel tapping rod, steel L square, angle mirror, steel wedge, steel gauge and hardcover tool bag. Class, now let's take a look regarding all resources available for this topic. If you need some extra reading, you can also refer to Code of Practice for Building Inspection, CPBS 101, or you may also refer to Royal Chartered Institute of Surveyor retrieved from their website. Good luck! Now it's time to take a self-assessment quiz. Please click the link below to answer the quiz of Activity 1.2 in U-Future. So, let's take a challenge and good luck class. So, how is your score? Are you happy? Okay class, let's recap our discussion nicely. Let's go over what we have learned up to this point before we wrap up this session. First, in the overview slide, we learned the distinction between tools and equipment. Secondly, we are educated on the four functions or purposes of the tools used in building condition assessment. And the most vital topic is that the different types of equipment and tool itself. Therefore, we may say that there are 6 different classifications of inspection, such as basic inspection tool, basic inspections, visual inspection, moisture inspection, non-destructive test, stress and strain inspection, and QLASIC assessment. All of these classifications have their own specific set of tools. Thank you for your kind attention and have a nice day. Bye!